Morning, guys. So I realized that I really wanted to shoot another what I eat in a day recipe video, but my main challenge is that I seriously eat the same thing every damn day. I have my green juice in the morning, I have my coffee alternative, I'll have avocado toast very likely for lunch, and I'll snack on some fruit, and then my dinner is the main thing that I tend to switch up sometimes, but most of the times I don't, and I'll have like potatoes or like a veggie burger or something like that. That's my current eating routine, and I do want to point out that I do not consider myself vegan, or I just don't subscribe to any diet dogma, and if I want something that's animal product one day, then I will have that. Now, ever since having a baby, I have mainly been craving a more plant-based diet, so that's what I'm eating, but that doesn't mean that if I want meat one day that I don't eat it. Like I had a little, I had a fig and some goat cheese last night, and I'm okay with that. So point being, yes, I eat mostly plant-based, and that's why, hence the other videos say vegan, not because I consider myself vegan, but because that is probably 99% of what I eat lately. And I was gonna make a separate video talking about that, but now that I'm at it, I'm like, why don't we just talk about it now? From my standpoint, a vegan does not mean healthy, okay? Because you can eat Oreos and drink Coke all day and still be vegan, and that does not mean healthy. So to me, the idea of being plant-based sounds much more ideal than just saying you're vegan, because you could be eating junk all day, and I mean, granted, you can do that on any diet, but I feel like at least paleo people make a lot more effort to educate people of like at least eat grass-fed meat and like non-GMO, get your organic produce and all that. And I feel like vegans, from my experience, have been much more eat whatever you want as long as it's not animal products. And I'm like, you know, one thing is to save the animals, but who's gonna save you from you? Because you're essentially just eating crap, and that does not do anything better for your body. So you're sacrificing your own body for the sake of saving animals, which from my understanding means you're being a martyr. And that's great if that's what you want to do, but I don't think there's any need to do that. So for me, I just eat whatever I want when I want. And if that means animal products, then that's that. If that means I want to be vegan for 3 weeks, that's that. I don't label it. I just eat whatever I feel like eating. And now that also goes to, there's not one diet that's right for everyone. And I want you guys to really, really think about this, because we're gonna sit down for this one. I should get a tripod for this one too. Not one diet fits all. And I've tried and tested a lot, and really, eat mindfully, think about what you're consuming. Like, my best example right now is my dear friend JP Sears and his girlfriend Amber. She is vegan and he is hardcore paleo, and they're both ripped and healthy and glowing and amazingly healthy, incredible people. Now, does that mean that one of them is doing it wrong? No, they're doing what's right for their body. He's eating meat, she's eating plants, because that's what they feel inclined to do. And so my point is that whatever you want, whatever aligns the most for you, is what you should go for. I understand the idea of wanting to be vegan for ethical reasons. That's definitely why I struggle with it. With eating meat is mostly ethical reasons, but also right now I'm just not craving it. But when I then do eat it, I make sure that it's from a good source. And I mean, that should basically go for anything you're eating. Make sure you know where it's coming from. That's why I keep promoting getting stuff from the farmer's market. Get to know your farmers, get to know your local produce, and yeah. I want you guys to test what works for you. And how you do that, in my opinion, is figuring out what do you love the most. If you were to consider never eating like one or the other again, would you rather eat meat all day, or would you like protein and fat, or would you rather just binge on carbs all day? And like, this is if you're wanting to go a diet route, because all of them work as long as you don't mix them up. So if you're eating a high fat, high protein diet and you eat a lot of carbs, yeah, that's not so smart. At least not, I mean, depending on your goal and outcome here. But that's not ideal if you want to be fit and trimmed and summer body stuff and whatever, all that stuff. Now, if you want to eat a lot of carbs, you can do that too, as long as you don't go heavy on the fats. And so what do you want? Do you want carbs? Do you want to eat rice and potatoes all day, or the other way around? Now, doing one thing doesn't mean you can't do the other. So it doesn't, just because you're eating plant-based doesn't mean you're going to gain weight if you have a piece of meat once a week. And at the same time, you can go into ketosis and like go that route of a heavy fat protein diet and then totally skip the carbs. But as a woman, I don't think that's ideal, because our bodies need carbs and a lot more than men. Our bodies change every week, you know, as our cycle changes. And that's just some of the reasons why I don't want to label myself as anything, because I'll go through cycles. Sometimes I function better on a high-fat, low-carb diet, and then other times it's like time for me to just binge on carbs, and probably because I didn't eat carbs. And carbs are good for you. But depending on whatever your goal is, your body will figure it out. Now, if you completely starve yourself, then you're probably going to gain some weight in the process of figuring out like how to get back to normal. And if you're overeating, then that's also too hard. Like this, you can't get fat on a vegan diet is not true. I mean, calories are still calories, maybe not the complete same ratio type. You know, I think you can get away with eating a little more on a plant-based diet, but you can still overeat. Now, if you've been binging and you can easily fit like 6,000 calories of fruit and vegetables and whatnot, then you're probably gonna gain weight unless you worked out a lot. At least from my experience. I guess, once again, everybody is different. Ow. Okay, so yeah. Ooh, that's better lighting. Take that into consideration and figure out what works for you. Now, I'm not promoting one diet over another. I'm simply promoting you eat whatever feels best for you that given day. Sometimes you work out more, you need more carbs, you need more protein, you need more whatever, you just need more food. And other days, perhaps you're not moving a lot. You're taking a road trip, you're just sitting down in the car all day. You probably don't need to eat as much. So you figure out what works for you. Some people were saying that that was a lot of food in my last video, or last what I eat video, and I'm like, yeah, some days I eat like 2,500 calories. Some days I'll eat 1,800 calories. Granted, I don't count calories and I don't count macros. That's another thing. And I just don't see a need to, because I'm not at the point where, I mean, it's really hard for me to overeat. I think I tend to undereat, if anything, because it's hard for me to fit so much food. But then if I've been really active, then I'm just hungry, like, and I can eat a lot. But on a general day, an average day, I'm not really that hungry, and I can easily forget to eat, and that's also not ideal. That's why I feel like these what I eat in a day kind of hold me accountable to eating more. And yeah, what was I saying? Now I feel like I'm just rambling. Also, don't be scared of food. I think the more you stress about it, the more you're gonna gain weight from it, because the stress is so much worse. Like if you're, let's say you're a vegan and you're stressing about like whether or not your food had like honey in it or there's some sort of animal product. I think the stress is much worse than actually just eating the honey and saying that was it. Or vice versa. If you're scared of carbs, if you're scared of protein, you're scared of fat, whatever it is that you're scared of, just let it go and just eat and be mindful. Chew your food slowly, be aware of what you're eating. Eating things with chopsticks is another good way to eat slowly. But I've been doing hot yoga the last couple of 2 days and the last couple of 2 days. Can you see that? The last 2 days. And my shoulders are killing me. Like, I have not been working out in so long. I mean, I've probably done hot yoga 5 times since giving birth, which is now 4.5, almost 5 months. I don't know, I stopped counting. I still don't understand this counting week thing. Counting weeks thing. But anyways, I'm gonna show you what I made last night / this morning. And yeah, why don't we just start there? I think I covered most of it. So last night I made some tea, and I made 2 different batches, and I just let it steep overnight. So we got a hibiscus base, and this is more of a green base tea. And I'm gonna strain that, put it in the fridge, and then make iced tea. This is my tea cabinet down here, and legit, I'll show you guys, like the tea is falling out. Yeah, so legit, not everyone has this much tea, obviously, unless you're a tea freak like I am. And I like my loose leaf tea. I usually don't go for these things just because I think they're lower quality. I use fruit to sweeten it with, a dried apple, and I think there's some dried pear. I would just go for apple, actually. The pears I just had. Dried pineapple, which is in the other one, or dried apple. And so for that one, really it depends on how strong do you want it, what's your budget, how much can you / do you want to make. So for me, I got hibiscus. This is from a local store. You can get it online. I'll put a link to where I usually get it. This one is a fruit tea that I got off Amazon. It's good, but it's pretty pricey, and it has hibiscus, apple bits. Once again, I have hibiscus there, and I'm putting dried apple in it. Pineapple, once again, I use that for sweetener. Rose hips, orange peel, and peach. Rose hips I also have here, and this is mountain rose herbs. That's where I get most of them from. So that's basically what's in this, except the orange peel. I can't find that anywhere. So you don't have to go buy this bag because this is expensive. Also, elderberries. I mean, there's so many health benefits. This video would be long if I talk about all of them. So we're not gonna do that. Anyways, now I'm rambling. For the red tea, hibiscus, rose hips, elderberries. I put this one in too. I don't remember if I thought this was expensive or not. I think it is because I use so much. Like, Dane will literally drink half a gallon if I let him every day. So I make a lot, and that's when it gets expensive. Once again, hibiscus, elderberry, red currant, and cranberry. Red currant and cranberry, you could buy those loose as well. Just make sure they don't have any sweetener added. So hibiscus, rose hips, elderberry, dried fruit. You don't really need much more. That's my red base. And once again, I can't tell you the ratio because it really changes. I just like grab a handful and throw it in. Let it sit overnight, and that's it. Now this other one, I can't tell you if that's good because I've never made it like this before. So what I have in here is also a concoction that's gonna help with milk supply. So breastfeeding mamas, nettle leaf and raspberry leaf is the base, and that is what you want to increase milk supply. It's also a supplement I take because one can only drink so much tea. Raspberry leaf, good for uterus, hormones, and all that stuff. So I put that in a whole bunch of lemongrass. I mean, I buy a lot of tea at once, okay? This is all lemongrass. Another tea I have is pu'er tea. These little bird's nests. If you're not familiar with pu'er, I highly suggest just do your research. And it is really, really good. So obviously, Chinese, Japanese, I don't know. I'm half Asian, I can make Asian jokes. Not that I made one, but anyways. It is really good alternative if you don't drink coffee. I used to drink a lot of pu'er tea, and I really liked it as my bulletproof type pu'er. Oh man, getting this back in there was like when I was drinking that. Now it's too fatty for me and I can't even. But even if you just want to drink it plain, it really helps with digestion, and it gives you a lot of energy. Like, it actually has a surprising amount of caffeine, and yeah, it'll definitely get you buzzed. And a lot of those detox teas that you see on the market, they actually have pu'er, because I feel like they suppress your appetite a little bit and gives you energy, makes you go poop. So, you know, it's kind of like coffee. Another tip, don't do this in a white shirt, okay? Because just don't. That's good. It's gonna be even better when it's cold. And then you just want to pop them in the fridge, add some ice cubes in there, and then yeah. Oh, man, fridge light is kind of good lighting. Anyways, want to see what's in my fridge? This is the meat box. This is for Raya. I like to keep that separated from everything else. Sprouts, very pathetic avocado. Sunflower sprouts, we got more sprouts. Organic raspberries. Some kale mix. This is goat cheese. Tofu. We got a lot of tofu. And kelp noodles. Ezekiel pita bread. We got a whole lot of hummus. And mushrooms, leftovers. Got a thing of black beans. Dan's beer, some oranges. This is the green juice section because I go through a lot. So cilantro, parsley, kale. This is dandelions. I got dandelions yesterday. Cucumbers that I got from the farmer's market. And we got more greens, lettuce, more kale, lettuce. We got lemons. What are those called? Celery. Carrots and more cucumbers. That's it. Goat cheese, hummus, flatbread, bell peppers, ginger. And then over here we got the cookie dough, kombucha, got some raw milk right there, almond milk. This is not that great. My homemade, which is really great. Dan that didn't finish his green juice yesterday, and then we just have a whole lot of condiment and tomatoes and all that stuff down there. So that was my fridge tour. Maybe I should do like a pantry essential, because my pantry is, I mean, it's wild. It's full. Let's not go through that today. What we can go through is my dinner last night, which was a veggie stir fry with tofu and brown rice, which turned out pretty epic. That was one of those days where I wanted something different, so that's what I made. Anyways, straighten my hair today. How do you like it? It's getting so long. Now let's see if this green one is any good. Now, I personally hope that it tastes better than it looks, because it kind of looks like something a horse dumped. Look at that. Tastes like black tea. That's pretty good. I think the pineapple really added a little goodness in there. These plastic lids, I tell you, do not use those metal ones, because have you ever taken a sip out of a mason jar and it just tastes like metal because the lid is all rusty and nasty? No. So that was a lot of tea and food talk, and the whole family is awake now. So and this video is 20 minutes, so it's about to wrap this up. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and if you got any other questions or any other things you want to see, just leave a comment below, and I will see you next time.